Parents who are trying to keep their kids happy are actually causing much bigger long-term problems. Our families have more than a handful of children who are still developing and exploring new things, and we need to make sure that we're doing our part in protecting their eyes, their minds, and their social skills from the dangers of smartphones and tablets. We need to do a better job at prohibiting early access to our children's own smartphones and tablets. We need to monitor which apps they're using on the devices, and we need to engage with them in order to grow their social comprehension. Today we're going to talk about the problem at its core and analyze the causes and effects that it has on our children. We're going to identify realistic solutions to the problem that benefit everyone, and while also incorporating compromise. And we're going to discuss what the future looks like with both scenarios, the rewarding future and the destructive future. Now the problem is children are becoming addicted to smartphones and tablets at way too young of an age. And because of this, children's social skills, sleep patterns, emotional well-being, motor skills, and sensitivity are all being negatively affected. Society is promoting the addiction of smartphones by allowing access to them everywhere children go throughout their day. Schools are implementing smartphone technology more and more. Their parents use smartphones, their friends use smartphones. Society revolves around social media and user interactive technology, and this permits children to invest more time behind a screen. In 2019, society is trying to make everyone happy with as little conflict as possible. For example, parents who just want some peace and quiet at night might give their kid a smartphone to distract them. Or for a good cause, parents just want to be a phone call away from their kid, and so they convince themselves that giving the child a smartphone is a necessary thing to do. What children and parents do not realize in the moment is the more time they invest behind a screen, the less time they invest in real-world relationships, social skills, healthy habits, and a healthy self-esteem. Smartphone addictions cause children to miss out on opportunities to mature and grow as functional human beings. Children are being exposed to more screen time than ever before, with preschoolers averaging more than 4.5 hours per day, and screen time beginning earlier at about 4 months old. This early and extensive exposure can lead to limited creativity, poor face-to-face relationships, the impeded ability to learn, poor motor and sensory skills, and poor mental health. Now, it's not just young children that this is affecting. Smartphone addictions cause preteens to become a victim to the dangerous sides of the online world. And a 2016 study states that 25% of children have private access to the internet from their bedroom, compared to 15% in 2012. 39% get their first social media account between the ages of 10 and 12, with another 11% before the age of 10. The private access that kids are allowed have enabled them to spend hours of the night diving deep into the online web, resulting in poor sleep, pornography exploration, problems with cyberbullying, and poor online privacy judgments. Now, to clarify, not all aspects of smartphone reliance are innately negative. Many apps team with excellent ways to get our kids thinking outside the box and practicing good problem-solving skills. The issue at hand, however, is when the addiction causes children to miss out on positive experiences and focus on spiraling detrimental social behaviors. Now, the solution is we need to think creatively on how to entertain our children in ways that do not impede their learning, their social skills, and their health. The action plan that I've come up with involves 3 steps, which are trial, monitoring, and engagement. Go ahead. Get it out. You're good. Trial, monitoring, and engagement. Before our kids get any access to new smartphone apps, we need to try them out ourselves in order to validate their innocence and their safety. Once we approve of each app and ensure that the device our children are using is safe, then we must monitor our children's screen time. Modify the smartphone and tablet settings to where the apps actually lock out after a certain amount of time spent on them. And then keep the passwords away from the children so that they can't go and change the settings behind our backs. And finally, engaging with our children carries the utmost importance. Getting them outside to play, getting them involved in sports and recreation, really sitting down with them and talking about their day, and having impactful moments together outside the screen can all decrease the need to satisfy the smartphone addiction. Getting them involved in reading or toys and action figures is also a great method of engagement that takes away smartphone technology. Through this action plan, socially functioning adolescence can be restored. By setting rules and guidelines and disciplining our children with limited screen time, we are able to help them grow and mature as people. Monitoring and improving apps and screen time helps give parents the relief they need in order to not worry about what their children are discovering and exploring on the internet. And finally, by engaging with them and having special moments alongside them can encourage them can encourage outward growth and the desire to get out and live for more. Now, the future is dependent upon our actions today. What will it look like if we do follow this action plan? Well, one, our children will feel better about who they are. Self-esteem will not be damaged by unnecessary cyberbullying. Depression and the comparison game have no place in our children's life. And secondly, our children grow up to be functioning and contributing citizens. They excel at new challenges because of the exposure to real life they got when they were younger. And they understand the importance of intimate relationships and they value each other's time. Now what happens if we do not follow this action plan? Well, one, our children develop major self-esteem issues. They will always compare themselves to others because of constant social media abuse. Depression, anxiety, porn addiction, sleep depravity, and problems with privacy judgment can all form and lead to devastating lifestyle habits. And secondly, our children might grow up to be awkward, incompetent, and selfish citizens. Narcissism could consume them, making everything about them, and ineptitude could grab hold of them because they refuse to experience real-world activities and events. Now, in closing, I do believe this issue is of much concern for everyone here, and I believe that we'll need to try our best to introduce to our children what life as a kid should really be like. Getting outside to play, getting together with their friends and having face-to-face relationships, and understanding what intimate relationships really looks like because they were made for those intimate relationships to begin with. So hopefully our kids can get restored and figure out what being a fun kid is like. Besides that, thank you guys for coming. And now it's my speech. So.